Last week, I made some modifications to my Pioreactor to make my algae start growing again. And I'm proud to say that they're back to being alive. Check it out. So this week, I'm going to take you through what I did, what worked, and what my next steps are. Hi, I'm algae, and I'm once again experimenting with microalgae. So, in my last vlog, I made a whole bunch of modifications to my Pioreactor, the miniature bioreactor I'm testing growing algae with. Most notably, I changed the type of light that we're using from red light to white light and added in a customized air bubbler to bubble air to the bottom of the algae. And in some combination, those modifications worked. The algae, as you can see, are nice and green. Now, there are a couple observations to be made. First of all, you can see there is still that dark green film at the bottom, and that is dead algae. And that's just because these algae have been growing for a long time, and I think they've just exhausted the nutrients that were available. Now, the other thing I noticed was that there were these two, and if you can see this if I hold the vial very close to the camera, these two dots of sorts on the surface of the vial. Now, those line up with where the lights were, where the LED lights were feeding into the Pioreactor. And I think that was just a product of how the algae were moving. That they were moving away from the light so they didn't get essentially burned by the intensity of the light. Now, I can say with pretty good confidence that the thing I did last week with the air bubbler was especially useful. Just like in my big bioreactor, it's really important to get air circulating throughout the entire bioreactor. And that goes the same for the Pioreactor. So adding in that air bubbler, even at a small air flow rate, was actually super valuable. So of course, the next thing to do is to set up a new culture in the Pioreactor and see if the algae grow the same way and do as well as they did in this vial. So I'm going to set that up right now. What I've done is I've reserved about 6 milliliters of my live algae in this small conical vial from the Pioreactor vessel. And now I'm just going to wash this out, add in some new medium, add in these reserved algae, and then we'll have a nice functional culture to test for the next week. So I have created my new culture and it has been added into the Pioreactor system. And you can see I've cut out this little viewing window into the side of the Pioreactor. I've unscrewed all the screws that were holding it in place before. And you can see the air bubbler is bubbling away, the lights are on, everything is set for these algae to grow perfectly. And on top of all that, I've activated the Pioreactor's optical density measurement system so I can track the growth rate of the algae as it goes along. So next week, I'll have a full graph of the optical density of the algae as they're growing. So if you want to see that, make sure to stick around for next week and subscribe on YouTube, follow on LinkedIn, and I'll see you in the next one.